If you don't plan and prioritize your time, somebody else will. If you're not focusing on what's most important to you, then you're focusing on what's most important to somebody else. You're never too busy, too tired, too old, or too anything to pursue your dreams. Welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast, where you'll learn how to move all those never-ending distractions aside and chase your dreams with confidence. Hey dreamers, welcome back to the Distracted Dreamer podcast. That's all about helping you take action on your dreams, even when life feels chaotic. Now, I know you're probably thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually make it happen in my busy life? I hear you. I know exactly how that feels. So I am your host, Carlene, and today I am going to give you 3 simple steps to actually fit your dreams into your life right now to get you moving on them. So today we're talking about the third and final myth that we believe about dreams. In episode 1, we busted through the myth that our dreams have to be big. And in episode 2, we reframed the myth that we have to achieve our dreams for them to count. If you haven't listened to those yet, go back and take a quick listen after this episode. Here we go. The third most common myth about dreams is that we have to quit our real lives to pursue them. How many times have you said to yourself, I'll wait until the kids are grown, or until I retire, or when things slow down? We convince ourselves that then we'll finally have time to pursue our dreams. But let's get real. There's never a perfect time. And honestly, all of these thoughts, they're just excuses. I know, I make them all the time. And instead of thinking about why we can't do something, we really need to start asking ourselves, how can we do it? And that's a really powerful shift in mindset. You don't have to quit your life. You just have to quit making excuses. And this is something I have to remind myself of every single day. So here's where we're going today. First, we're going to talk about control and how much control you really do have over your time. Next, we'll bust through the belief that you don't have time. I'm going to share with you 3 simple steps that you can follow so that you can start chipping away at your dreams today. No, you don't have to fly to Fiji where you are free of responsibilities and distractions. But if going to Fiji is your dream, like it's one of my dreams, then go for it. But you do not need to go there in order to find the space in your life to pursue your dreams. Because these 3 steps will show you that it is possible to both live your life and work on what lights you up in whatever chapter of life that you happen to be in right now. So it's not an either or. It's simply a choice and some basic execution. Now, one of the most common things that I hear from people is that they feel like they aren't in charge of their time, that they don't have control. I get it. Your job controls your time. Your family controls your time. And you must show up to those meetings. You must meet the deadlines. You must do that carpool to soccer practice. You must take care of your sick kids. But I'm telling you from experience, no matter what job you have or how old your kids are, you will always have responsibilities. I always thought, once the girls are grown, that'll be it. That'll be my time. But you know what? Our adult kids still need us. It might be a wedding or being a sounding board as they launch into their first job after college, or helping them set up insurance and all the adult things. Someone will always need you. Your spouse, your kids, your parents, your friends, your coworkers. That's life. And none of that is a good reason to put your dreams on hold. You can have it all. It just might look a little bit different than you envisioned. I'm going to give you a hard truth here. If you don't plan and prioritize your time, somebody else will. If you're not focusing on what's most important to you, then you're focusing on what's most important to somebody else. Let that sink in for a minute. You're spending your precious time and energy attending to other people's priorities. What about your dreams and the things that are most important to you? If you choose, you can focus on what matters most to you. You don't need more time. You need to own your choices about how you spend your time and take that control where you can. And I'm going to show you how. Your first step is to do a time audit. You say you don't have enough time? Let's confirm that with a time audit. Who hasn't said this at some point? I would start that thing, fill in the blank, whatever your dream is, but I just don't have the time. This excuse comes from a place of feeling overwhelmed and all of life's demands, the work, family, and all the responsibilities that are just overwhelming us and distracting us. And let's be real, time is a limited resource. You can't make more of it. But the truth is, we make time for what matters most to us. So how do you find the time? Do a time audit. Start by analyzing how you're spending your time. I remember a college student I was coaching some years back, and she came to me very overwhelmed, feeling like there weren't enough hours in her day to go to the classes, to do all the projects, to prep for tests, to do all the sorority things. And that is until we investigated how she was spending her time. Long story short, because we didn't uncover this right away, we discovered that while she was going to bed at a reasonable time, she wasn't actually going to sleep right away. She was scrolling, playing games on her phone for up to 3 hours every night. Does this sound familiar? Like, we are all guilty of doing this to some degree. And the morning wasn't much better. Her alarm would go off, and there was another 2 to 3 hours of the same habit. Whoa. That's 5 to 6 hours out of her day that she was losing. That's, I don't know, on average 40 hours a week. That's like a full-time job's worth of time for a whole week. So do your time audit. Don't be afraid of it. It's okay. Be honest with yourself and just track your days for a week and notice where time is slipping away. Maybe it's social media or TV for you. It could be something else. Just be open to identifying it. And once you know what it is, you are going to find your hidden time opportunities. So your first step is to do this time audit. Your second step is to implement the 15-minute rule. The 15-minute rule says, let's start with something simple and actionable. It says that you don't need hours of uninterrupted time to make progress. And once you see the patterns from your time audit, commit to using that found time by starting small. 15 minutes a day to work on your dream. And those consistent small chunks of time, they lead to a lot of progress. They really, really do. I get it. It's hard to break the TV or the phone habit. But before you turn on Netflix or pick up your phone, tell yourself that first you will spend 15 minutes chipping away at your dream. And then you can turn on Netflix. You can scroll, but not before you spend that 15 minutes. I don't want to spoil it for you, but you may find that once you get that momentum going, that you'll be chipping away at it for much longer than 15 minutes. And I promise you, you won't even miss social media or Netflix. You'll realize it's not those things that light you up. It's your dreams. If you still don't believe that 15 minutes a day can bring great results, then I want to introduce you to an idea from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. And he talks about the power of making just a 1% improvement every day. Now, you might be thinking, 1%? That's so small. How can it make a difference? Here's the thing. Small, consistent improvements, they compound over time. It's like putting money in a savings account. If you're adding just a little bit every day, that small amount grows into something much bigger. The math behind James' Clear concept of 1% improvement every day is based on the principle of compounding growth. So instead of simply adding 1% each day, the 1% each day builds on the improvements of the previous day's progress. So every day, you're taking 1% of something greater than the day before. Isn't that great? That's how compounding works. You can go get his book where he actually walks you through the formula for it. But if you just made 1% progress every day for a year, you think, oh, it's going to be 365% better. But because it's compounding, it's actually going to be, you're going to be 37 times better. 37 times more progress is going to be made than when you started. So these small steps, they lead to massive progress when you stick with them. Let me give you an example. Let's say that your dream is to learn a new language, but you don't have time to focus on it for hours. Instead, commit to listening to the lessons on the app during your commute or while you're doing the dishes or folding the laundry. And before you know it, you'll have learned more words, more sentences, and ultimately get to where you can have a conversation in this new language, all because you improved 1% every day. Everything that you learned yesterday helps you learn what you're going to learn today. It compounds, okay? So maybe your dream is to start a business, but it feels overwhelming, and you don't want to try doing everything at once. So commit to spending just 15 minutes a day. Maybe it's researching your market or refining your business idea. And those 15 minutes may seem insignificant, but by the end of the month, you'll have spent over 7 hours working on your business. It adds up faster than you think. The point is, you don't need to take giant leaps or block out 5 hours every day. You just need to take small, consistent steps and let time do the rest. And that's the power of 1%. Every little bit adds up. And I'm going to give you a little mindset shift. This you can apply to this broken soundtrack of, I don't have enough time. The next time you catch yourself saying, I don't have enough time, pause for a second and play a new soundtrack. What does a new soundtrack sound like? It sounds like, I make time for what truly matters to me. Or I can find 15 minutes today to make progress, even if it's small. Find a soundtrack that works for you, that empowers you to take that 15 minutes. You've heard me use the word consistent, small, consistent steps a lot during this episode. There's a reason for that. Because according to James Clear, consistency is the other crucial ingredient of progress. We all think that consistency is about doing something the same way, the same time, every single day. And that is the perfectionist definition of consistency. And here's something I tell my clients all the time. Consistency isn't about showing up every single day without fail. It's about showing up the day after you didn't. I'm going to say that again. Consistency isn't about showing up every single day without fail. It's about showing up the day after you didn't. It's about getting back on track after you've been knocked off course. We all have days when life gets in the way. Maybe you miss a workout or you skip a journaling session, and that's okay. The key to real progress is showing up the day after you didn't. The key to real progress is showing up the day after you didn't. It's about not letting one missed day turn into a week or a month. Consistency is about getting back up and trying again. Maybe your dream is to have an organized home, and you've been making great progress. You've been tackling a small area each day, and then a busy week happens, and you don't touch it for a few days. Rather than feeling like you've fallen behind, remind yourself that you can jump back in right where you left off. Even organizing just one drawer the day after a break gets you back on track and closer to your goal. So the real power of consistency lies in your ability to keep going, especially after you've stumbled. It's about persistence, not perfection. Show up the day after you didn't. I dare you, show up the day after you didn't, and you'll see the results over time. All right, your first step is to do a time audit. Your second step is to implement the 15-minute rule, because now you get it, you understand, you know that 15 minutes does matter. And now the third and final step is to stack your habits. This is where you literally fit your dream into your life right now. You pair your dream with a habit that you already have. This is called habit stacking. If you've already got a routine that's locked in, like having coffee in the morning or walking your dog, add a small action related to your dream right after that. This takes advantage of an already established habit, and it makes it easier to fit in time for your dream without having to overhaul your entire day. So how do we do this? Here's an example. If you're trying to write a book right after your morning coffee, if you want to learn something new, listen to a podcast related to your dream while you're on your daily walk. You see, by stacking it with something you already do, it becomes part of that routine. This is the science, why it works, and how it builds a routine. So James Clear, he popularized the concept of habit stacking in his book, Atomic Habits. The general idea of linking habits together, it's not brand new, but Clear coined the specific term, habit stacking, and laid out a framework for how to use it. Habit stacking is grounded in behavioral psychology, and it works because it leverages something called cue-based learning, which is rooted in how our brains form habits. Here's the deal. When you stack a new habit onto an existing one, the existing habit becomes the cue for the new behavior. And this makes it much easier for your brain to link the two actions together because you're not starting from scratch. You're attaching the new habit to something that's already automatic. Here's why this works. Habit stacking works because it reduces the mental energy needed to form new routines. Instead of trying to overhaul your day or force yourself into a brand new habit out of nowhere, you're simply piggybacking the new action onto something you're already doing consistently. It's a lot easier to add something small to a habit you're already doing, like making coffee or brushing your teeth, than it is to start a new routine from nothing. This is where the magic happens. Over time, these small habits, they get repeated enough, and they actually turn into automatic behaviors. As you stack these small habits, they start to create a reliable routine with very little effort. It's like how you don't have to think about brushing your teeth anymore. It just happens naturally. Or the one I love is, we don't think about putting on our seatbelts. We just do it naturally. And the beauty of a routine is that it's always there waiting for you, even when life gets in the way. You don't lose the progress you've built because your brain still recognizes those cues. Whether it's after a vacation, a busy season at work, or even a life event like moving, your habit and routines are just waiting for you to jump back in when you're ready. Let's say you've been in the habit of going for a short walk after lunch every day. Then you go on vacation or you get hit with a really busy week at work and you miss your walk for a few days. Because the habit has already been wired into your routine, into your brain, it's easy to pick it back up once you're ready. Your brain recognizes the cue, which is finishing lunch, and naturally wants to fall back into the habit of taking a walk. Stack a task related to your dream, and you are literally making progress on your dream while still living your very full and very busy life. Let's wrap this up with some action items for you. How does that sound? If you are ready to breathe some life into your dreams, here's 3 things that you can do to get started. First, do that time audit to find your hidden time opportunities. It's okay. Don't be afraid of what you're going to find. You're going to find opportunity, and that's a good thing. Number 2, implement the 15-minute rule to start making small progress, 1% every day. By the end of the year, you will be 37 times better, 37 times further ahead than where you would have been if you wouldn't have done that, okay? Number 3, identify some small habits related to your dream and stack them with other habits that you've already got on autopilot. No longer do you have to put your dreams on hold until things slow down, or the kids are grown, or you've got a completely cleared calendar. Your dreams are ready for you now. This is your time. Finally, don't forget to go to the link in the show notes to take that 2-minute quiz called What's Your Dream Personality Type? I'm telling you, this quiz, it's going to show that no matter where you are in life, you do have the potential to pursue your dreams. And this quiz is going to give you some great clarity on what your next step is. Thanks so much for tuning in. And your dreams are waiting for you. Your time is now. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Oh, and one more thing. This is the legal language. You know, the stuff that the lawyers put together, and they say that I need to read this to you. So here we go. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Got it? Good. I will see you in the next episode.